Well, good morning, everybody. Happy Saturday. Haley, happy Saturday.
Happy Saturday, Dan.
You're all listening to the Repcolite Home Improvement Show, sponsored by Benjamin Moore. I'm Dan Hansen.
I'm Haley Johnson.
And before Haley gets running with her topic, she's got a topic all planned for this very first segment.
Yes, it relates to a topic that we talked about last week.
Right. Now, that topic from last time was something I brought to the table, so that part's good. But if you do have to go to the bathroom, now's the time.
Oh, lovely.
I'm joking. But before we get to that, I've got something I want to start with because I thought it was hilarious. I don't normally, laugh out loud when I'm watching a video or watching something
Sure.
on
If it's
TV.
funny, do you laugh internally?
I laugh internally. I chuckle.
It's like silent laugh.
Silent laughter, right. I don't like people to know what I'm thinking, so keep it all inside. But I stumbled on a news story and watching the video, and that's the problem with telling a story on the radio. The video was what really sold it and made it funny. But here's the scoop. Here's the premise. I love it. It's England, and maybe a lot of you have seen it. This was a viral thing from a few years back before I was really big on the internet, big on spending time on the internet. Still not big on the internet, right? No, never going to happen, and that's fine. Anyway, I stumble on the story of this poor guy who loses his job, and he's applying for jobs, and he gets an interview lined up, all right, with the BBC to do some kind of IT role. So he goes to the BBC, and he's all ready for this interview, all dressed up, ready to go, and somebody shows up with a clipboard and says, "Are you ready?" And he says, "Well, yes, I'm ready." And she said, "All right, come with me. We've been waiting for you. You're a little bit late." And he thought, well, no, I thought I was on time, but oh no, I really need this job.
Okay.
So they haul him into an area and they set him down at a little table and they put a microphone on him. And he's thinking, this is the strangest job interview I've ever been on. And all of a sudden, this lady sits down at a table next to him and she's all mic'd and ready to go. Somebody counts down 3, 2, 1 and points at the lady. And she says, "Well, good evening, everybody. We're talking." And yes, it's a news broadcast, and they've completely mistaken him for somebody else. She goes on and on about some Apple thing with Beatles, Apple Corps, the Beatles company, and Apple, iTunes, having a little bit of a conflict. There's a court case going on. And she lays that all out and says, "What do you think?" And then gives the guy's name, and it's not the guy's name. And when she says that and asks him, his face is priceless. It's just a quick double take. He's trying to stop her, but he realizes this is live TV. He's on air. So he just rolls with it, answers the question.
Seriously?
Yes, keeps running through. He's got an IT background, so he kind of has some answers for it.
Oh, wow.
I will put a link in the show notes because that double take.
I don't know what I would have done.
I'd have just wept. I would have let people know what I was thinking, and it would have been fear and horror. I just can't imagine. I thought the guy handled it so well.
I would have rolled with it. I don't know what I would have done.
Yeah, you know what? The worst case or the worst part of the whole thing is he ends up going to his job interview later and doesn't get that either. Oh. Yeah, so it's a real letdown for him. But he did have a few minutes on the internet.
TV, yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, yes, it was TV, and now it's the internet, so it's still living on.
Double famous.
I didn't want to take too much time, but I saw that. Wrong place, wrong time. Thought it was hilarious. Haley, what do you want to talk about? And it's tied to something that I talked about, which means it's very near and dear to my heart.
Yes.
Potentially.
It relates to your smart humidifier.
Okay.
Because you mentioned, all the terrible things that can happen because of dry air.
Right. Leprosy and remember everybody? My
Go
children.
to the leper doctor.
Yeah, my children were so disappointed that I had done that.
But no, one of the things that you talked about was how the dry air can affect our furniture and actually cause the wood furniture to crack, because it's not getting enough water in the air. And that same thing can happen to our cutting boards, to leather furniture. Anytime the humidity drops in our spaces for that long winter month or 4
month? Yeah, okay. I was going to say.
It's like 4 months.
Yeah, it feels like it. So what do we do? I mean, the humidifier helps.
The humidifier helps, but we probably don't all have humidifiers. And even if we do have one, it's probably not humidifying all of the areas of our homes and keeping all of our furniture and cutting boards and everything beautiful. Okay. So you're actually supposed to maintain this stuff during winter months once a month.
All right.
So like oiling your cutting board, moisturizing any leather furniture once a month. I'm not doing any of that.
What am I oiling my cutting board with? Like vegetable oil type stuff?
I mean, I guess you could. There's like special cutting board oil. It's like a mineral oil, but it should say cutting board oil on the bottle.
Mm-hmm.
You can find it, in a lot of different places. Probably at the grocery store, you're going to see it.
I can't even find the normal things at the grocery store. I could spend 6 days looking for tapioca. I did that once. So I didn't stay 6 days.
Got to go to the pudding aisle, Dan.
No, I don't remember where. Maybe, but it wasn't in the box I was expecting to find. So if you're not a good finder, and you know who you are,
help
bring somebody
or
with
order
you.
it online. There we go.
So,
just use the internet.
Oil my cutting board. What other things do I need to do?
The other thing would be, moisturizing any wood furniture. So this would be wood furniture that's not necessarily like lacquered or painted. That's just sealed in. That's not going anywhere.
Okay.
But anything that's waxed wood or oiled wood, that needs to be maintained throughout those winter months.
So what am I oiling that with? Not just myself as I sweat while playing video games or something.
Like furniture polish or like the furniture wax.
Okay, so maintain that. Keep up on it.
Exactly. Once a month is what you're supposed to be doing during those winter months. And then, again, leather furniture.
Yeah, that's the one I'm really interested in. I don't have any, but should I ever have leather furniture?
Well, and it's expensive, right?
That's why I don't have any.
Exactly. So if you do have it and you're not doing this, you've spent all of this money and potentially you're like cutting the life of it in half because you're not maintaining it.
So what do we do for the leather?
So for the leather, you can either buy a cleaner that also is a 2-in-1 and has the conditioner in it, kind of like a 2-in-1 shampoo, right?
Okay.
Or you can find the separate cleaner, get it all cleaned, and then you would condition it after the furniture has been fully cleaned.
How long does it have to sit before I can use it again?
Let's say you clean, vacuum the furniture real quick. You're getting a cleaner on there. You do that whole process. You let it dry out fully. Then you're conditioning it with the leather furniture moisturizer.
Mm-hmm.
You want to let that sit after you've rubbed it all in and wiped off any excess after 30 minutes. Let that sit for like at least an hour before you're sitting on the furniture.
Okay.
So that you're not like staining your clothes.
All right. So I'm going to need to keep one chair unconditioned for resting in between while I wait for the other chair.
But even, if
ready.
you don't have leather furniture, like you do have a leather coat. I know I've seen one of those. You've probably got a leather bag. All of those things.
You think they're real leather? Do you think I sprung
your
for that?
Your leather coat is for sure real leather.
So even that's going to be wrecked if I don't rub oils on it and sweat doesn't count?
Sweat does not count.
Okay.
No. I mean, it's got salt in it. It's drying it out, too.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. I am salty. I just finally learned what that meant. The kids always throw that term around.
Oh, really?
Dad, stop being so salty.
Oh, my gosh.
I don't know what that means. I figured it meant I was sweaty. We're going to put links in the show notes for all of these little products and all of the things that Haley talked about.
I've got a whole process for you to look at, so you're doing it right. And it's just a really good thing to be doing right now.
Conditioning your furniture and other things. Mm-hmm. More work for you, brought to you by the Repcolite Home Improvement Show. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we'll be talking about Guard's Problem Surface Sealer. What is it? What does it do? We'll tell you in just a minute. Stay tuned.